Hi, my name is Noelle, and I am going to be going over some lessons from the Bible that I have learned and I think might be useful to you. So hopefully you like it. I'm doing them in about 7 minutes, so we'll just see how that goes. So the first thing I want to do is kind of give you an understanding of my goal and what I'm trying to accomplish. And in this case, I'm going to start at the beginning and go through pretty much the whole thing. So it could take me years. But we're going to start with Genesis. As you can see here, it's called 7 Minute Series. I have a website called bible.7minuteseries.com. And we're going to do an overview in this discussion, but you'll see in the next few videos I will break down Genesis into about 5 or 6 sections and we'll go through each piece. So hopefully you'll find it entertaining. So let's take a look at what we're going to cover over the next few videos. First, we're of course going to cover creation. It's interesting because we don't know when creation happened, obviously. So what we have to do is kind of figure out a starting point. So we'll talk about the creation story, how it was created, the Sabbath, things like that show up later in the Bible. We'll also talk about, of course, Adam and Eve, the creation of Adam, what God intended with Adam, as well as, of course, the creation of Eve, their time in the Garden of Eden, and what their fate was following that. We'll also take a look at Noah and the ark and the story of when God said, enough is enough, you guys, you're no good. We need to start over. And what Noah did and God's response to Noah's faith. I think it's pretty cool. And then we'll also talk about, of course, Abraham or Abram and Sarai first, and then their transition into Abraham and Sarah, one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And then we'll also talk about the beginning of the patriarch, which is how Genesis ends. Abraham, his son Isaac, and his son Jacob. So we'll go through that, which will take us right into the beginnings of Exodus. So that's just a survey. Again, we'll probably see a video on each one. A creation video, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, Abraham and Sarai, and then the beginning of the patriarchs. Now, time flies in the Bible, especially in the book of Genesis. This is why sometimes it is believed that when they talk about the Pentateuch, they really don't mean Genesis. They actually mean the next 5 books, because Genesis kind of sits all by itself, and it's a real general understanding of history, and it applies to everyone on the planet. About 2,300 years pass in the length of Genesis. One book in the Bible, 22,300 years. It's a long time. We're not sure when creation happened, so it's hard to say when that 2,300 years starts, but it's pretty easy to kind of see that progression of time, especially as we go through the generations listed after Adam and Eve and in Abraham's history. So we'll go through some of that in these videos as well. And because of the many generations that there are, we're just going to focus on a couple of the main stories in the Bible, but there is a lot of reference. For example, Numbers ends up being a census that was taken, so there's lots of references to lots of families. We won't be able to go through them all, so we'll just hit the top, the main characters. And there are some Bible resources that I'm going to be using throughout the different videos that I'll be using. So some of them are blueletterbible.org, so you should definitely write that down if you've never heard of it. It's a great resource, online resource, concordance. Also by Bible Study Tools. I didn't verify that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. You can always just Google Bible Study Tools and you'll get the right one. And then one of my favorites right now is YouVersion, and I was one of the early believers, I guess, in this project. And I recently got really excited because I started adding my notes, and people have been following my notes and kind of reading up on things that I believe and notes that I've taken on different passages of the Bible. And it's nice to have people read it and kind of give you a thumbs up, like, yeah, I totally got that too. So I really like YouVersion. I like the community that it provides for us people that love the Bible. So I definitely would recommend going out and taking a look. My screen name is Unity Girl, so if you want to find me, you can. Some other references. I'm going to be using the Glow Bible in this video series. I'm going to show it to you in just a few seconds, as well as, of course, my Bible website. Right now it'll just contain this video, but as the videos are created, I will post them to this site, www.bible.7minuteseries.com. So hopefully you'll take a look, and I sincerely hope you like this as much as I like creating them. So let's take a look at one of the resources. Here we're looking at Glow Bible, and Glow Bible is pretty interesting because it provides lots of different perspectives on the Bible, meaning different views of how you can see the Bible and get information about it. Right now we are looking at the Bible view, so it allows us to zoom in to any of the chapters. As I mentioned, in the next few videos, we will be focusing on Genesis. So when I double click on Genesis, it takes me right into the components of Genesis. However, I'm right now just scrolling in and out. It'll let me go in and you can see it. It tells you the different pieces. You can see the creation story, Adam and Eve. You can jump to chapter 5 and get into Noah's genealogy. You can jump then to the call of Abram, where the Abrahamic covenant is created, which is one of the most exciting things that in the Bible, especially in the early books. And then, we get into some of the patriarchs, right? The sons of Abraham, Isaac, when Isaac gets married, and Jacob and Jacob's family. All things that I want to concentrate on our videos, but I just wanted to kind of show you how nice the Glow Bible is in presenting this and giving you a really easy way to kind of get access to it. When you are in the Glow Bible and you launch it, you'll see my text is pretty small because I like to be able to see as much of the book at one time as possible, but you can enlarge it and make it smaller if you choose to do that. You can also see relative artwork and photos associated with it. If there's commentary or videos that go with it, you'd see that as well. As you can see here, I have my notes. So I don't think I've done Genesis yet because I'm going to do that with you guys. But if you go into my notes, it gives you the ability to add a note, and then you can see here YouVersion is actually added in as well, so you can sync the notes you take in Glow Bible with YouVersion. So it's pretty exciting. The last thing I want to show you before we get into some of the other more important content is the timeline. So the timeline gives you the ability to kind of see what's going on. So right here we see a pretty small timeline. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can kind of see it a little bit closer. So here we see down here the creation, first generation, Noah and the flood. I'm actually going to move that up a little bit so we can see it a little easier. But it allows you to zoom into the timeline and see kind of where things were and at what time. It's got a lot of reference, archaeological reference and scientific reference, so that you can see where a lot of this stuff was coming from and what evidence has been created since then to kind of formulate where in time and where on the planet this all took place. So anyway, it's pretty exciting stuff. I hope you will join me for the rest of my video series. I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.